Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Tea. We are hanging out, and we have a special guest with us, none other than author Karen St. Hilaire, the author of The Divine Butterfly. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, we are so excited to have you with us, and we're just going to jump right in and just start our conversation.
So what is the butterfly journey?
The butterfly journey is where an individual gets the impetus to work on something that's just so passionate to them, right? Is getting a deposit of purpose. What does God want you to do? What's your role in the universe? What's your impact? What's your legacy going to be? And as you go through trying to accomplish everything, you are going through a butterfly, journey. You're going through the cocoon stage, the pupa stage, and then you become this most beautiful, in my case, monarch butterfly.
Okay,
and then so you just continue to, buzz around and bless individuals. So that's the journey.
Wow. So how did you really put this all together for yourself? How did you figure this out for yourself and then arrive at this stage where you are a monarch butterfly?
Yes.
Let us
That's
know.
lovely.
I'm that friend that everyone can call, right? And not because it's my background. I'm not a psychologist, therapist, nothing of that sort. A life coach, yes, but not the one that you want to talk about your issues and your problems. But I was the individuals that you can call to say, listen, I have an idea. I want to start this organization and I need some help. I just had the knack of connecting the dots.
Okay.
And it was something that I did, and it evolved on its own in time. Overlooked it for a long time, but after a while, I became the go-to person. And so when it was about my purpose, I was confused, like, okay, what's my job here? What's my job here? I didn't realize that my job was actually to be the conduit, the conductor, the driver. I am your guide. So if you read The Alchemist, I am the alchemist. You are Santiago, and I'm going to get you through this desert.
Okay.
Get you to this pyramid. So that's my role, and I understood it. Now, I went to Cuba for vacation, and when I got off the plane and I went to the beach, and I was like, all right, God, listen, we're going to make this work. And I want to know what the greatness I'm going to get, and I'm in Cuba, and I've always wanted to go to Cuba, so what's going to happen? On my way back to the U.S., I'm at the airport, and I start writing sentences.
Wow.
And the sentences were all about individuals and the steps that you take to achieve your goal and to be on purpose. That evolved into a book.
And one thing that you wrote in the book that I have to say that really caught my attention was when you said you had to shut up, for lack of a better statement, the naysayers. Because everybody was telling you, you don't need to do a self-help book. You don't need to do that. There's a million of those. So what made you get to that point where you said, I'm going to forget about what they got to say and I'm just going to do me?
Cuba and obedience.
Ooh.
Again, when I got to Cuba, I have to say to you, so when I was a freshman in college, I studied everything Cuba. I was just fascinated by everything about it. And it's really one of those, I'm an only child, right? So you can't get it. So you're going to learn everything about it to make you think that you know it. And then when you get there, you're like, wow. So Cuba was me shutting off. No cell phone service.
Wow.
No emails. So it's like I'm in the moment at every given time. I'm in that moment. And when you're here and we have Wi-Fi everywhere on the trains, anywhere, you're never in the moment. We're like taking selfies, we're doing Snapchat, we're trying to be on social media. Guys, come on. When you are in a space where none of that's available to you, you realize your nails are not growing. You tend to see that your eyebrow has a gray in it. You are so in that moment. And I was in every moment of my 5 days in Cuba.
Hold it. I've got something to tell you. If you really want to be a part of this conversation, the only way you can get in is if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment. That's the only way your voice is going to get heard. So hurry up, click subscribe and drop a comment at the end. See ya. Who, if anyone, you mentioned The Alchemist, but also in the book you mentioned not worrying about modeling yourself after anyone else. So how do you exist without having a model?
You need to have a true sense of self. You just need to know that you are a strong individual, know your shortcomings, own them. You have to own them. So if you know you're just a little salty, you can be a little crabby, own it. Own it, because once you own it, then you know when you have to turn it off, and you'll be conscious of when you need to turn things off and turn it back on.
Well, you talk about your journey, that writing a book and maybe other people who want to be authors but are getting caught down by the naysayers. Do you have any advice for people who have a voice in them that they want to write a book?
I do. I had a team of 4. I created a team of 4. Again, the Gethsemane moment, right? I had a team of 4 and I called them the squad. And so when everyone else, the white noise around me was happening, a lot of it was happening, you know, you shouldn't write a book, you should do this, do a show, no, those individuals will say, okay, what's next? You need to put a chapter in. You need to write 4 pages. You need to write 3 pages. And they just kept talking to me. And I have to tell you, at moments when I second guess why I'm writing the book and am I even writing anything that's relevant or does this make sense? They were the ones. They didn't care because their roles were just to be the cheerleaders. You have to create a team around you that's going to support you either way. Hi, I'm Karen St. Hilaire, and I am the author of The Divine Butterfly, Inspiration for the Journey to Your Purpose. Would you like to be part of this conversation? I think you should join this channel. Click the link below, leave a comment, and now let's get back to the show.
All right, ladies, we're getting ready to wrap up. Dina, do you have anything else that you would like to ask our author that's joined us today?
Yes. So who do you think should read your book? Who does it help the most?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. So when I wrote the book, I really wrote it for millennials because everyone wants to like live on Instagram money. Like, everyone wants to be Instagram famous and Facebook famous. And I really wanted to just echo to them like, hey, you are on purpose. You are purposeful. There is a role for you in this universe. You have to leave a legacy outside of 150K likes or whatever, right?
Wow.
So to answer your question, where I did write the book for the millennials, it's for everyone and anyone who really wants to get back into working on what really made them feel good inside. The thing that they dreamt about and just thought about every day in passing, or they did it as a hobby, that individual. Like, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to that nice, safe space, because then it allows you to be more successful at work because you're now dabbling into that fun stuff. The stressful aspect of your life actually takes a spot in the back burner, right? It goes to the back and you're able to just, you know, feel great about yourself and then go back into the real world.
Right. But Karen, also, what about people who are not sure what their passion is? Who maybe outside of work, they can Netflix and maybe hit the gym, but they're not really sure if they have a hobby or something outside of work that they really want to do all the time. How does someone find that passion? When
you read the book, you're like, okay, so what part of my hobby is purposeful? So you get to ask yourself the question. And once you ask the question one time, it's like activating a light switch.
Got it.
Then you start seeing things and you start hearing conversations that speak to something that it was dormant and that no one knew that you really liked. And I talked about it in the book. You start seeing it on television, you start hearing it in conversations. That dormant dream, passion, thing that you really liked, now it takes life.
All right, Karen, thank you so much for joining us with our hangout. Thank you for joining us, the author of The Divine Butterfly. We appreciate you for clicking in, and we hope you will help keep the conversation going and growing by subscribing and commenting on our YouTube channel and liking our Facebook page. See our new videos every Thursday morning. And remember, who's telling your story? The team!